Hello and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. Today's beers, we're going to look at several beers from one brewery. It's not a Japanese company, but it's one that many Japanese are familiar with because it's imported into Japan and somewhat widely available. And it's made in a location which many Japanese visit, and that is Kona Brewing Company. And Kona is a Hawaiian brewing company, as you might guess, and it was founded in 1994 by a father and son who were interested in beer. And they have quite a few beers that they've made since that time. RateBeer lists 89 separate beers, and Untapped almost double 157 different beers, and the average score on Untapped is 3.52. So in 1994 they started, and they have two brew pubs, one in Kailua, Kona, and the other in Oahu, in the Hawaii Kai area. If you are familiar with Honolulu, Hawaii Kai is quite upscale, sort of, I guess you could say a suburb of Honolulu. And so they have two brew pubs, and their main brewery is at Kailua, Kona, on the Big Island of Hawaii. And they also have a restaurant at the airport, Honolulu Airport, where you can get their beers as well. And their beers are widely imported into Japan, and you can get them at a lot of restaurants that kind of specialize in Hawaiian style or casual dining. And they were bought out by the Craft Beer Alliance, which was basically put together by the Widmer brothers in Portland, Oregon, and that group has sold out completely now to AB InBev, the large multinational brewing company based in Brazil and St. Louis. So what that means is they have access to the distribution that company can provide worldwide, and also production. So their beers are produced at Widmer Brothers in Portland, Oregon, as well as Red Hook in Washington State and New Hampshire in the United States. And this beer, it doesn't really specify. It says brewed by Kona in Kona, Hawaii, Portland, Oregon, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So it doesn't really specify exactly where this one came from. In any case, so we have a number of beers from them that we're going to look at. In 2009, they were the 14th largest beer in terms of sales, craft beer sales in the United States. So quite big. And we're going to look at 5 different beers from Kona Brewing Company. Okay, so let's begin. And here we are with another beer from Kona Brewing Company in Kailua, Kona, Hawaii, Big Island of Hawaii. And it's this one. It is called Kona Longboard Island Lager. And on the label we see pictures of longboards and people riding longboards. When surfing really became popular in Hawaii, or became popularized, I guess, longboards were the preferred board, and they were quite long and heavy. And then in the 1960s, the shortboard became more popular, or shorter boards. But in any case, longboard is certainly referencing a Hawaiian tradition of surfing. This is a pale lager, international premium pale lager, 4.6%, and it has 18 IBUs, international bittering units. On RateBeer, 1,961 ratings, and the average score is 2. 4.84 out of 5, not terribly high. And that's 16 percentile for all beers on RateBeer, and 69 percentile for its style, pale lager. Untapped, 258,000 ratings, and the average is 3.4, so quite a bit higher. I have had this before, and I think I rated it 3.2 out of 5, but this is a long time ago, and we'll see how this is. This has been in the bottle about 6 months or so, and so I'm not sure how well it has survived. It's a brown bottle, but I'm not sure how well it was kept. Probably not kept cold in the store. Okay. So as we said before, this is part of the Craft Beer Alliance now, which is owned by AB InBev, and so they have the distribution to get it out all over the place. So we see Kona beers in the discount liquor stores here now in Japan. So this is a very pale straw color with about a half a finger of pretty consistent white foam. Carbonation, very small. Kind of hard to see it rising up. Aroma. It does smell a slight bit skunked. Not sure what kind of hops they would be using in this. It smells like Zatz, but probably not. Well, perhaps it is, I don't know. And very thin maltiness as well. Yeah, grain, very light, kind of grassy hop, thin body, maybe a touch of fruitiness in mid palate. Something going to very light fruitiness, but overall it's grain and grass, very thin, something like almost like a Euro lager, something like an industrial European lager. Okay, so I gave this 3.2 8 years ago, and I don't think I would give it that high now, certainly not for this bottle. This would probably be around 2.6 or something like that, but in any case, the side of the bottle says Liquid Aloha, and let's read the label here. Waikiki Beach in Honolulu is the birthplace of longboard surfing. Kona Brewing pays tribute to this iconic place with our own Longboard Island Lager. A spirited, crisp, and refreshing brew, Longboard Island Lager is a smooth ride all the way in. Thirsts up. Okay, well, I would agree with the first part about Waikiki Beach, but the second part, not so sure. Okay, well, that's it for Kona Longboard Island Lager. I don't recommend it very highly, but you may want to give it a try. And again, it's 4.6 pale lager, 18 international bittering units. Okay, we got a couple more Kona beers we're going to look at in the next few videos, so I hope you come around for those. Please do subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about Kona beers. I've had most of them, and I've never been terribly impressed, and I'm probably less impressed this time than I was even before.